Good morning and welcome to worship here at the Center for Christian Spirituality at Chapelwood United Methodist Church. It's so good that we get to come and be together today. This is our last Sunday examining the Beatitudes. So we'll be working with the last one, this last wisdom saying of Jesus. And so, and we'll see how does that intersect in me, in you, and in your life right now. And so in order to fully arrive into this time and see what the Spirit has for us, I'd like to invite us just to place our attention on your body. Feel your feet on the floor, on this holy ground that is always here for us. Allow yourself to be held by the pew and relax into it. Let your breathing calm you, slow you, open you. Inhale and exhale at a pace that feels comfortable. And you might notice where you're feeling a little resistance. Maybe it's a spot of soreness in your body. Maybe it's a puzzle or a problem in your mind that you are working with. Maybe it's a pain or a wound that you're bringing today. Where do you feel that resistance? And then just give it an extra breath. Breathe gently into that space. And let the Holy One come close. For Jesus says, "Come to me, all you who are weary and heavy laden, and I will give you rest."
Be still, only be still. Believe and you will see. Only be still, only be still. Though fears and doubts surround, just wait on holy ground, for God is all around. Only be still, only be still. The Lord abides still, only be still. Though fears and doubts surround, just wait on holy ground, for God is all around. Only be still, only be still.
Deliver me, O giver of breath and life, from the tears that beset me. Help me confront the inner shadows that hold me in bondage like a prisoner who knows not freedom. They distract me from all that I yearn to be and hinder the awakening of hidden gifts that I long to share with others. For I desire to be a channel of peace, to reflect the beauty of creation. Oh, that I might manifest your love to all whom I meet and mirror your mercy and justice. Guide me, O beloved, that I may become spiritually mature. Love me into new life. For are we not called to make love conscious in our lives, to divinize the earth with heavenly splendor? Reawaken my sense of wonder that I may childlike be, that I might flow in harmony with the universe and be a bearer of integrity. I know that you stand beside those who suffer, and you are the light of those imprisoned in darkness. Surely you will guide us into the new dawn, that we may live as co-creators with you.
The Lord will fight for you. Only be still, only be still. Believe and you will see. Only be still, only be still. Though enemies surround, just wait on holy ground, for God is all around. Only be still, only be still. The Lord will fight for you. Only be still, only be still. Stand firm and you will see. Only be still, only be still. Though enemies surround, just wait on holy ground, for God is all around. Only be still, 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 only be still.
I invite you now to affirm the way of blessedness with me. We're going to speak these words, these Beatitudes, out loud, but I invite you to do it in a way that is a little quieter. In fact, I want to invite you to see if you can drop your attention into the area of your heart. And it's almost like you're trying to let your heart say these words. So speak these words with me, but do it with a quieter voice, almost as if you're trying to let your heart say these words. So we're going to take it slow. We're not in a hurry to get through these, but join me. Blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Blessed are those who mourn, for they will be comforted. Blessed are the meek, for they will inherit the earth. Blessed are those who hunger and thirst for righteousness, for they will be filled. Blessed are the merciful, for they will receive mercy. Blessed are the pure in heart, for they will see God. Blessed are the peacemakers, for they will be called children of God. Blessed are those who are persecuted for the sake of righteousness, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven.
Declare that I am blessed always. Always, always. Always, always. You declare that I am blessed. As I reach the end of myself, I find fullness in you, fullness in you. And though grief has broken my heart, divine light shines through. Divine light shines through. As I walk the world with gentle grace, I see the strength of love. As I seek to live in righteousness, your presence is enough. As my heart is open and still, I see you in all things, you in all things. As I lay my anger aside, my heart softly sings, my heart softly sings. And when love and truth require my joy will not be lost. For the hope of heaven fills my heart, a joy that's worth the cost. Always, 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 you declare that I am blessed. Always, 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 you declare that I am blessed. Always.
Jesus says, "Blessed are those who are persecuted for the sake of righteousness, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Blessed are those pursued for the righteous way, for the realm of the heavens is theirs. Blessed are those being pursued for the sake of the righteous one, who have been expelled for embodying the divine wisdom the world cannot tolerate. The divine realm is already theirs. Blessed are those whose transformation has made them unacceptable to the world's arrangements, who have become so transparent to divine righteousness that the system could not ignore them. The realm of heaven is already their home. Blessed are the pursued ones, empty at the beginning, expelled at the end, and the realm of heaven theirs throughout. Oh, the blessedness, wisdom's blessing of those pursued for pursuing her way, the righteous one who orders all things towards love. Her divine sovereignty is already theirs. Oh, the blessedness of those mistreated for walking the wisdom way of the righteous one. They know they are already home, living in the realm of God. And finally, as a kind of a summary of all the Beatitudes, blessed are those in whom the Spirit's work has been completed, so emptied, so broken open, so gentled, so hungry for what is right, so kind, so clear, so full of peace that the world could no longer accommodate them. The divine realm is already their home. So we come to the end of our journey with the Beatitudes, this way and ways of blessedness of Jesus. And as I come to this final Beatitude, I have some questions, that I bring to the text. And so we're just going to walk through some of these questions that came up for me. They might come up for you as you listen to this Beatitude. And the first one is, what does it really mean to be persecuted for righteousness? And as you might have picked up in the translations, in my translations of this particular verse, it has a lot to do with being pursued. And that might help us get a better sense of what this word really means. It can mean persecuted, but it has this sense of like being chased, Something is running after you. Something is pursuing you. And interestingly, that very same word is used by the Apostle Paul when he talks about pursuing righteousness, pursuing the same thing, righteousness. So what is interesting about this idea that Jesus is saying is, blessed are those who are being pursued because they have pursued righteousness. Blessed are all of you who, in the midst of pursuing wisdom's way of ordering all things according to love, blessed are you who, in the midst of that, in some way are feeling pursued, that something is chasing you, that something is not tolerating you in some way. The ways that you make the system uncomfortable, the world uncomfortable, and those who are living according to the ways of the world uncomfortable. Blessed are you in the midst of all of that. So something about being pursued for pursuing righteousness. And if you recall, as we've walked through these Beatitudes, there is a real intimacy, there is a real motherly embrace to these words that we've unpacking, like righteousness. You know, when I grew up thinking about righteousness, it felt very judicial to me. It felt very forceful, like you need to be right. You need to do what is right. But this is very intimate. This is very loving. And in fact, just by virtue of the language, of the Greek language, and as well as the Hebrew and the Aramaic language, this is gendered feminine. And so I don't think we're supposed to miss that sense, that this is almost a feminine aspect of God that is righteousness, that is wisdom. And so it's that which we are pursuing, that kind of love that manifests in us and through us. No matter if you're male or female, it's this intimacy that we're meant to inhabit, not to make happen. It's not that I need to go and do what's right. It's I am inhabiting the righteousness of God. And it's that which is flowing through me. As I become, and this is my next question, how is this beatitude related to all the ones that have come before it and the verses right after it? As I am becoming so empty, so broken open, so gentled, so hungry, longing for God, so full of the mercy and kindness, allowing my heart to be clarified, to become transparent, as I'm allowing peace to flow through me. I can't help but abide in this righteousness that is God, this presence. And as I inhabit that, love flows, mercy flows, kindness flows, clarity flows, the ability to speak with a clear heart and to speak truth to power, which relates it to what Jesus says right after this. And we didn't include it in the reading earlier, but I'm going to say it to you right now and read it to you. This is the next two verses. This is where the theological becomes very biographical, where he says, blessed, not only blessed are the pursued ones, but blessed are you when others revile you and pursue you and utter all kinds of evil against you falsely on my account. He says, rejoice and be glad, for your reward is great in the heavens, for so they pursued the prophets who were before you. And so he's saying that the pursued ones are not alone. Not only do they inhabit the beautiful, merciful righteousness of God, but they are part of a long procession. They are part of a long lineage, a prophetic lineage, that this is how it's always gone. Inevitable, a reaction to those who wish to inhabit the righteous love of God. And we know, as Bonhoeffer's quote in the top of your worship guide, we know that ultimately this is not only biographical of Jesus saying, "Blessed are you," but this is autobiographical for him. He lived this. I mean, he believed this and lived this to its uttermost. And he was the one who was crucified for living this way of blessedness. The world could not tolerate him in this way. And so as we experience even a taste of that, we know that we are also part of this long procession, this long lineage that includes Jeremiah, includes Isaiah, it includes all the prophets, it includes the first disciples of Jesus and the apostles, it includes Jesus, it includes the desert fathers and mothers, it includes Marguerite Porete, who we mentioned a few times, who was burned at the stake on June 1st, 1310, for testifying to a love that so annihilates what we think is ourself, so that love can flow, so we can be a mirror of love. The world couldn't tolerate that, so it killed her. The world couldn't tolerate, his world, at least at the time, the Nazis couldn't tolerate what Bonhoeffer was saying, the cost of discipleship. The world couldn't tolerate Romero, the other quote, Oscar Romero, and what happened to him for speaking truth to power. And he was killed while he was officiating the Eucharist. But that leads me to my final question is this beatitude relevant to us? Because realistically, most of us are not going to suffer that kind of persecution for our faith. I mean, most of us have not probably experienced much physical persecution or relational persecution. So is it relevant to us in some way? And I think it is, and I think the early Christians quickly picked up on how it's not just about a physical pursuit. In fact, I mentioned the Desert Fathers and Mothers. They were a 3rd through 5th century movement who, when they were sensing that church and state were becoming too wed together, that they felt they had to flee the system and go into the desert to live as a community of the Beatitudes, to live as a true community of the way of Jesus. And so they fled. And as they went into the desert, they knew that they didn't have access to a physical martyrdom, so to speak, which is this beatitude kind of can speak to like a physical martyrdom, like giving your all for this way of blessedness. They began to see that they were really undergoing a kind of interior martyrdom, a kind of interior persecution. On one hand, there was some outer persecution. They felt like they had to flee that system. But they realized when they went into the desert, they encountered an interior persecution, a psychological persecution. And they developed all these different kinds of ways of seeing that we can be persecuted. We can be pursued by our own anxious thoughts, by our own negative, oppressive feelings, by these ingrained reactive behaviors that have accumulated across our lifetime, that they can continue to hound us and pursue us. So how can we experience a freedom from that own kind of inner pursuit? Part of this same desert phenomenon of monks flowing into the desert, there was a collection of other early sayings of Jesus that was collected and recorded by some of these same ancient Christian monks. It's come to us through the Gospel of Thomas. And there are 2 particular Beatitudes of Jesus that those ancient monks collected and recorded that speak directly to this movement from this outer persecution to this inner persecution. And I just want to read them to you. In these sayings, Jesus says, "Blessed are you when they hate and pursue you, and they will find no place in the space where they have pursued you." They can't find you in the heart. in the very next saying is, blessed are those who have been persecuted within their heart, those who have come to know the Father and truth. And so as these ancient Christians were trying to wrestle with what does this mean, these sayings of Jesus, they began to interiorize it. And they began to see it's not just an outer persecution, but what is going on within me that's pursuing me. But as we've gone through this whole kenotic journey, this whole kenosis means to be emptied, this work of the Spirit emptying us. Not me, I've got to get empty, but just being open and receptive to the Spirit's work in and through me. As we've gone through this process, we come to this place where all of those things that are going on out there or are going on in here, if we come back to the place of the heart, they can't touch us. They can't touch the real you, the hidden you, the true self that abides at the level of the heart. The woman that I did my dissertation on, Ann Dutton, she has many beautiful sayings that have just continued to speak to me and resonate with me. But as I was thinking about this passage today and what I was going to say to you, there's this one particular saying that is really relevant. She says, nothing can touch me unless it come through the ocean of mercy and be changed into mercy for me. Nothing can touch me, the true me, the me at the heart. Nothing can touch me except it comes through the ocean of mercy and can be changed into mercy for me. So I invite you to close your eyes. As I tell you about another ancient monk from the Celtic tradition. His name was Aidan of Lindisfarne. Imagine this Celtic monk from, I think, the 7th century, 6th, 7th century, who came from the island of Iona, western part of Scotland off the coast, and felt called to go to Northumbria, the northeastern part of England where it connects with Scotland, to a tidal island, Lindisfarne. And on the way, he suffered much persecution. And as he founded this little island, this little piece of the kingdom of God, he continued to minister to those in the area of Northumbria. And he established on the little island of Lindisfarne, the Holy Isle, this place of refuge, this little spot of the realm of God, this place of a community where they could follow the way of the Beatitudes. But he also felt called to go beyond that tidal island to continue to minister to those who might persecute him. But he always knew he could return back to the island, to be recentered, to be recollected. And so as we are about to sing this song that comes from the prayer of Aidan of Lindisfarne, I invite you just to imagine right now, maybe you are on this island, this tidal island. And the thing about a tidal island is at certain parts of the day, the island is completely surrounded by water. And then as the tide goes out, the water separates from the island, and you could walk back to the mainland. But just think about you're on this island, and the water is surrounding you, and maybe it's buffeting the shore, and it's violent, and maybe that's like something inside of you right now that you feel like is pushing up against you. Maybe it's condemning you in some way, speaking words that aren't true, maybe telling you you're not good enough or you can't hack it, or you can't do it, or you're a failure, or you'll never get the spirituality thing right. But allow those voices and those words and those thoughts and feelings just to recede as they go back out, knowing that they can't touch the ground of your being. That you are grounded in the love of God. And even all the ocean and all the waters around you, ultimately, you are held in the ultimate truth that this is the ocean of mercy. This is the ocean of love in which you're immersed, enfolded. Nothing can come at you unless it comes through this sea of mercy and love. And so we rest at the level of the heart, giving thanks to the one who is always with us and within us, the one who is our home from beginning to end. This home, this realm of God is always ours right now. Thanks be to God.
Leave me alone with God as much as may be. Make me a holy island held by the sea. As the tide swells around me, set me apart. Leave me alone with God, let love fill my heart. Make me an island, make me an island, held in the ocean of your love, cradled and grounded, ever surrounded. Make me an island held in your love. Help me to face the world that rushes at me. Face it and offer peace to all that I see. Bearing your presence till the tide turns once more. Folding me back to you as I was before. Make me an island, make me an island, held in the ocean of your love, cradled and grounded, ever surrounded. Make me an island held in your love. Make me an island, make me an island,
You prepare a table for me in the presence of my enemies. You anoint my head with oil. My cup overflows. Surely goodness and mercy shall pursue me all the days of my life, and I will dwell in the house of love forever. I invite you to make this table today not simply a remembrance of a story, not simply a teaching. I invite you to come to the table of your heart, where goodness and mercy are in abundance. So as we come to the table of our hearts, we remember that on the night before he died, Jesus took the bread and he broke it. He gave thanks, blessed it, and gave it to his disciples, and he gives it to us and said, "This is my body, broken for you. Take, eat, and every time you do this in remembrance of me and my love for you."
In the same way, taking the cup, having poured it like he would pour out his very life for us. Giving thanks, blessing it. He gave it to his beloved one, saying, "Take this, drink this, each of you. This is the cup of the new covenant of my blood, of my life, which is poured out for you and for many. Drink this in deep remembrance. Drink this in remembrance of me and my love for you." Let us pray. Oh, loving God and source of all, we give you deep thanks for your love in which we are always immersed. We give you thanks for even though we forget, we fall into forgetfulness, we may willfully choose to go the other way, you continue to pursue us in your love, in your mercy, and you overwhelm us in your goodness, and you bring us back to you. You bring us back to this place. And you bring us back ultimately to the place of our own hearts where you forever dwell. Thank you for these gifts of your presence. May they nourish us. They feed us as we hunger. And they fill us as we thirst for your righteousness, your presence that makes us whole as we abandon ourselves to you to be your instruments of healing and wholeness in this world. These are our prayers in the name of the living Christ, who is and embodies the way. Amen.
And so we invite every person here to come and partake of this beautiful gift. You don't have to be a member. You don't have to be a Christian. Come. This gift is for all. And when you come, there'll be 3 communion stations, and you're welcome to go to any of them. And when you come, hold your hands out, open, empty, receptive, and we'll place the bread in the palm of your hand, and then you'll dip it in the cup and take. You're welcome to come to the altar and pray, or light a candle as a symbol of a prayer of your heart this day. But these are the gifts of God. This is our heavenly food to nourish these bodies for the living of these days. Would you come? It's been so good to be together today. We're grateful for your presence, both in this room and if you're worshiping with us online. We recognize the boundlessness of God's love, connecting us through time and space. And so I pray that today the word that you have received will nourish you for your week ahead. Just a little point of interest for you. A few years ago, there was a group from the center that made a pilgrimage to Lindisfarne, where Michael was talking about today about the island and anyway. And so the chalice and the patent and the pitcher are from Lindisfarne. They brought that with us as a gift, a piece of that place to be in ours. So that's quite special. If you need a little bit more silence and solitude and centering prayer, there's a group that meets over on the organ side immediately following the service. So you're invited to about 10 more minutes of centering prayer. And then join us in the Anchor House for what we call worship response. It's a time where we sit in a big circle with our coffee and tea and share and bear witness to one another as we reflect about what did this service mean, what came up for us. And then there's a time of questions and maybe some answers. So you're welcome to join us for that time. So simultaneously, there is an event that we'd like to also invite you to over in the sanctuary at 9:45 is the church town hall meeting, where they will be sharing with us the plans and the vision for a capital campaign that Chapelwood will be beginning here this fall. And so if you'd like more information about that, we encourage you to go over to the sanctuary for that meeting. Anchor House hours, the Anchor House is open Tuesday and Wednesday afternoon this semester. And so if you need a space or a time for quiet reflection, prayer, or small group spiritual direction, you are welcome to that space. Then join us on Thursday morning in the Anchor House at 10:30, or you can join us online where Peter will and a musician will share with us music. It's a musical Lectio Divina, and so we'll work with a piece of scripture for the upcoming Sunday. There are also other classes that are starting up, so I hope you pay attention to those, and if you're interested, sign up. And there's also some save the dates down at the bottom as we enter into this summer, or to this fall, excuse me. And hold on. Yes, thank you so much. Okay. All right. So if you would, though, flip back to the body of your bulletin. At the very bottom, are receiving a good word. The practice of the center is that the benediction, the good word, it comes from within. It comes from the voice of the Spirit within you. As we close out this series, I'd like to give us this final blessing of these Beatitudes. And then we're going to sing this chorus that Peter crafted for this series. And then you are invited to sit in the silence, to listen for your word. And then when you're ready, you are welcome to go in peace. Blessed are those in whom the Spirit's work has been completed, so emptied, so broken open, so gentled, so hungry for what is right, so kind, so clear, so full of peace that the world could no longer accommodate them. The divine realm is already their home.
Always, 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 you declare that I am blessed. O